Well, we work the land from dawn to dusk, hoping this pretty farm don't go a bust. But he plows fields all morning, just see it's in his veins. New day beginning and he's back at it again, 'cause it's my life. He's a loaded semi and he's hitting up those hills. People just sing, he just lives on pills. But the miles that they travel, well, I know they are insane. Wake him in an hour and he's back at it again, 'cause it's my life. Well, smog and dust is flowing through the air. Well, I just drive to work without a care. This desk job that we're living, well, I know it's 9 to 5. Every time the sunshine lets me know I'm still alive, 'cause it's my life. But these jobs that we're living, well, I know they are our lives. New day beginning lets me know that we'll survive, 'cause it's our lives. Jobs that we're living, well, I know they are our lives. New day beginning lets me know that we'll survive, 'cause it's my life. Oh, it's your life. Yeah, it's our lives. Oh, it's my life. When will it end? This feeling within, it's burning me over and over, amen. Well, I can't remember or understand who I keep hurting. Hurting is bad. Lord, I know I never prayed before, but I'm praying that you'll open your door. Well, I've been a fool so long, but I'm liking it here. Don't let my feelings run away from me. I worked so hard to be the man I'm gonna be. The ones I love are right here with me. Oh, Lord, I hope that you're hearing me. And the story still goes.
Baby, tonight we won't play the game as long as you're mine. We could take on anything, work every day to pay the rent for a great big house and a picket fence. So maybe, baby, maybe tonight we can try to break away, try to break away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So come and take my hand, we can run off and join the band. We can do it all just because we can. Hey, hey, come on now, we don't need no plans. Just fly by the seat of our pants. We can do it all just because we can. Hey, hey, because we can. We can wander the world, you and me and our vagabond heart. We'll follow the sun, yeah, find a home wherever we are. Sleeping out here under the sky with shooting stars and satellites. Maybe, baby, maybe tonight we can set the world on fire. Hey, yeah, yeah. So come and take my hand, we can run off and join the band. We can do it all just because we can. Hey, hey, come on now, we don't need no plans. Just fly by the seat of our pants. We can do it all just because we can. Hey, hey. We take the road to the great unknown. Follow the wind, baby, here we go. Let's take a chance, no regrets. While we can, because we can.
Good morning, HouseBound. Hello, folks, and welcome to our special edition of Hats Off to Country. We're going to catch up with some great artists. I hope you are all doing well and sending all our love, prayers, and wishes to everyone down in Victoria at the moment. They're going through a hell of a time, and I hope they all stay safe and well. Looking forward to today's show. Pretty excited, actually. We've got a great lineup. My good mate, and I haven't had him on the show for a while now. He's been busy teaching and being a dad, and Mr. Will Day. We've got legendary songwriter, entrepreneur, Mr. Johnny John Krsulja from the DAG Station Inn. We've got Beck Gracie, journalist and manager. She's going to catch up. We're going to talk about the industry and what's happening around the industry and in the media side of things. Songwriting master Michael Waugh, and an amazing band that I've known for a lot of years, Jetty Road. I'm really, really excited about today's lineup. Plus, we've got the Little Finns. The boys have done their top 5 again. So I'm excited. I've had a few people pop in. Just want to say a quick hello to Beth Brown, Billy Hanley, Shane Ward, Kaz, Terry Holland, Beth Brown again, Joe Hoffman, Marty Warren. How you going, buddy? Alice Homer from Melbourne. Hope you're doing well, darling. Wayne Morrison. Leanne, you got on. Kevin Kelp, Dave Bishop, and hey, Beck's watching. So looking forward to today's show, folks. It's exciting. This time, at this time, I should have been on the road. Today, we had a tour organised to head down to Tamworth for Hats Off for Country, which is online this weekend. So we thought we'd do a bit of a Hats Off special, just to help promote country music that's not happening live at the moment. It's pretty scarce. I should have been in Grafton tonight, Coffs Harbour tomorrow night, Grafton last night was the July Race Carnival was on. Coffs Harbour tonight, Taree tomorrow night, and then across to Tamworth for Hats Off. But sadly, I'm still here in my living room or dining room, kitchen, doing this show for you guys, which I'm pretty proud that the show is still running and we're doing really well, and I'm really grateful for the support that we've had for Good Morning HouseBound to keep it rolling and all that sort of stuff. We've got some great videos from Phil DeBlay. We're going to go back into the vault and open up a video clip of my beautiful wife Nellie. yeah, so a great lineup. And Kevin Keep, I think that's how you say your last name, Kevin. G'day from Chicago. You guys are doing it pretty tough. I love Chicago, the Windy City. Done a few shows over there. Thanks for joining us in Chicago, Kevin. Mike Manley's watching, and Beth Brown. How cold is it down there, darling? Down in Canberra. It's winter is upon us. It's exciting. So you know what? Let's make it a great thank you to the people that have supported me with the show. And Karen from Little Sparrow PR, she's done a wonderful job helping promote the show and has got behind us and looked after us and all that sort of stuff in letting people know that we're out there. And we want to say a big thank you to her. Thanks, Kaz, Little Sparrow PR, for all your PR needs in country music. Thanks so much for your support, Kaz. It's been fantastic. Now, we had a guy, an awesome songwriter from New Zealand in our New Zealand showcase a few months back, him and his beautiful wife, Lana. So Phil de Blay is an artist that I just love. This is a song that he wrote about a war story called Suitcases, and this is the first song and video for the day that we're going to pull out of the vault.
I discovered an old suitcase in a second-hand store, covered in dust and cobwebs. It sadly sat upon the floor. I brushed my hand across the leather. I tried to understand its rusted hinges and initials written in a shaky hand. Around its weathered handle was an old tag and a key, and the name of a Kiwi captain, dated 1943. It really got me thinking that this has seen some miles. The proof was in the tinted shell. You'd really had some trials. And each sticker told a story, where you've been and what you've seen. From Asia through to Europe, USA, traveler, you're coming home with me. I had to save this grand old fella, and I knew just what to do. Polish the brass and fix the handle, and had it looking good as new. But its faded silk lining, stained from ink from tales of woe, by the pen he only used to probably write his letters home. Now you proudly sit retired, that old suitcase now is fine. Its memories and its secrets locked away, preserved in time. And each sticker told a story, where you've been and what you've seen. New Zealand through to England, Australia and Germany. Shiny corners, patched up armor, yet still a mystery. Tired, worn out traveler, your home is now with me. Tired, worn out traveler, your home is now with me.
Phil DeBlay with Suitcases. G'day, Phil, over in New Zealand. Hope you're well, my friend. Amazing song. Just love that song, and that's why we wanted to pull it out of the vault. We'll get Phil back on the show on another later date and see how they're going over there in New Zealand. I got to say, New Zealand's just absolutely done a fantastic job with their with the COVID and how they are, and they've just doesn't seem to lose that that relaxed way they are over in New Zealand. But that was Phil DeBlay, Suitcases. Go and support Phil. Get on his website. He's got new product coming out and new songs. Him and Lana are doing some stuff. So go and check it out. Support that fantastic singer-songwriter from the NZ, New Zealand. Right now, we've got a guy that is in Brisbane, or just out of Brisbane, a little place called Bar Scrub, just near Logan there. I don't know if he likes calling it a Loganvillian guy, but I like rubbing it in. But great songwriter, great friend. He's been working his butt off teaching and keeping himself busy in this isolation, as we all do. And I'm really, really proud to bring him back onto the show.
Billy, wake up. Where are we?
Oh, mate.
What happened?
Oh, I think we found the party.
When I hear the bitch and complain, can't talk with a mouthful of beer anyway. But when I'm here to sit on our ass, time is another drink and we're drinking fast. We're here to party, here to shake things up like a bull in a rodeo. We're ready to fuck, not here to worry, not here to think too much. Forget about tomorrow, we don't give a truck. We're here to party. We're not here to save our money, gonna waste it on the whiskey and a good-looking honey. No, we're not here to be going home now. We'll be wearing out our welcome till they're kicking us out.
Big things up like a bull in a rodeo. We're ready to buck. Hey, buddy!
Cole, how you going, buddy?
Good, mate. Real good.
Awesome.
Real good. Should be
Yes,
out
I have-
touring.
Yeah. What'd you say, Cole? Coffs Harbour
I've learned
tonight?
how. Yeah, mate. Well, tonight, Friday night, we would be in Coffs Harbour. Yes, we would have been down at the Hoey Moe in Coffs Harbour. Billy Hanley just sent a message going. He's seen the reminder pop up in the calendar, and he got a bit sad. So don't worry, Billy. It'll happen. It'll happen
G'day,
sooner
Billy.
than later. How you doing,
Billy-
champion?
Good, man. Billy and I were meant to be in Early Beach tonight still, I think. So, yeah, we had a run up there. Yeah, so-
Hang on. How could he be at Early Beach and at Coffs Harbour?
I wasn't meant to.
Book himself.
Oh, all right. That was last week. I'm just leaving the Early Beach stream over and over. Wish I was there.
Yeah, that was last week, mate.
Yeah. I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you holding up?
I'm doing good, mate. Good. I just want to say good day to a few people that have just popped on, mate. Phil DeBlay, again, thanks for joining us, Phil. Justin Partridge from Gunnedah, g'day, mate, from down the cold country. Mike Manley said that Phil did a song about the earthquake called The Day the Spire Fell. We're going to check that out, go and find that, and we'll try and air it on the next show. But Phil's a great songwriter. So thanks, Mike, for that. And welcome, everybody. Welcome all day. How's it going in the Day household, mate?
It's busy as, mate. This is where I teach down here. Like you said, I've been busy teaching. I'm missing playing and whatnot. But every now and then I have a student and teaching like a singing lesson, and then the vacuum cleaner will come across just above me here, and the student's like, "What's that?" I have to mute my mic, or Ethan will run across above me. Anyway, we're busy, mate. Ethan's back at school next week, but we're good. I'm very grateful to be busy, and I'm still making music and being involved in music. So But I'm looking forward to things picking up. That's for sure.
Well, mate, it's you're a prolific performer, going from 5 shows a week to absolutely 0. It must have been mentally tough to sort of get yourself around that conditioning, I suppose. You know what I mean? Were you sort of staying up late because your body your body clock was that way, and were you pacing around the house at 8:30 at night going, what was the process for you, mate?
I was probably staying up late, like watching Netflix, and definitely staying up late and just trying to, kind of relax and realize that nothing more I could do than relax or put the kids to bed, obviously. And what I have enjoyed is being at home and being around my family more at night time and bathing the kids. So, you got to take a positive out of a negative. It's been strange, mate. Very strange, especially the amount of gigs that I was doing and have done. Anyway, it is what it is, I
suppose you've kept yourself fairly busy with the schooling. For me, I've directed my energy into putting into this show and a bit of songwriting and we're just about to do some co-writing stuff and all that sort of gear. I've gone into the shed and found tools that and taught myself how to use tools that I bought years ago that never got around to it and stuff like that. Is there stuff like that you've done that you wanted to do prior to this that you've got done now?
Things like I went last weekend to Melanie where my mum lives, and like having a weekend of off to give my wife some time to herself, and I spent some time with the kids doing things like that. Like that, I wouldn't have been able to do that because I'm always gigging, always, So things like that, and just cleaning out the shed. Like the shed was a mess. Cleaning out the shed, whip sniffing, those kind of things, and just hanging out with my kids, and actually, a little bit of songwriting as well. So, but like I said, I've been busy teaching, which has been good too. So I need to be busy, and it's good. I'm lucky to be busy. So it's good.
That's awesome, mate. And you're working damn hard on the next single that's coming out. You did have a single planned when this all hit, and management and yourself decided to hold off releasing anything in that period. One, financially, you've got to worry about where your money's been spent and how you're going to survive. What are we now? 3-4 months into it. I'm a bit lost at how far it's been. It's March, April, May, June, July. So that we haven't had work or income coming in, but you have got a single coming out that I know we can't talk too much about it because there's a bit of PR that's going to come, but what's up on the horizon for today?
I'm glad you mentioned it, Cole, because I'm looking forward to getting back into my career as a songwriter and as a country artist, and that fire I have hasn't gone anywhere. It's probably gotten bigger, fire in my belly, and I guess goal to keep releasing music and whatnot and touring when I can. But next single I'm releasing in towards the end of August. I'm extremely excited about it. It's a song that means a lot to me. I'm going to play it today, and we do some PR to release for it, but everyone can you're going to hear this song on radio very soon. I'm shooting a film clip, as you know, next weekend for it, and I'm just really excited, I guess, about this one. It's really
good.
Exciting. And a good way for me to launch back into it, I think, So
there is a massive light at the end of this tunnel, and as hard as it is, a lot of our performances now are to ourselves, to an audience that's out there and abroad. That's the positive at the end of this day. I think we're going to come out a lot stronger at the end of the day. Do you feel the same? Like, do you feel that the live music scene is going to be stronger? There's going to be, new ways of doing live shows, all of that sort of stuff?
I think the live music scene, to be honest, will take a while, but I'd like to think that people still believe in it. So the venues, I'm doing a local gig in a couple of weeks, and then we're starting to talk about doing a couple of things as well later in the year. So fingers crossed, mate, that people and venues get behind it, and people who love live music. I think so. hopefully.
Well, like Kayleen Pickney from down Melbourne way, she's saying here that, at least we can move around. We're not in lockdown. I feel so sorry for a lot of people down in Victoria at the moment that they're back to square one to a degree in a lot of areas. So it's pretty scary. So we're thinking of you, Kayleen, and just stay safe and healthy, and just hopefully it gets contained down there and they sort it out and you guys can get back to normality sooner than later. Mate, I think it's time that we get you to sing a bit of a tune for us, brother. Yeah.
Love to. Do a couple of tunes.
All right, mate. I'm going to hand the screen over to you, my friend, and
thanks, brother.
I'll see you at the end.
G'day, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Big thanks to Col for having me on this show. I really believe in what he's achieved and tried to achieve with this show in isolation. So well done, Col. Congratulations on a great show. You should be really proud, man. I'm going to play a song first that it relates to. I wrote this song Matt Scully a few years ago, and I haven't played in a while. That's why I want to play it. But it relates to it's talking about drought and a time when I went to my hometown of Gundamwindi when it kind of seemed like this was about 6 years ago when I seen some rain. It just looks like the drought was gone. And that's the thing. Before all this stuff, COVID, there was bushfires. So many people doing tough from bushfires and all these people doing it tough from drought still. So in some parts of the country. But this is a song of hope, I suppose. It's called Things Are Looking Up. Saturday morning, there's a buzz on the street. The local cafe's got a lineup. You can get a seat. Even the ladies from the Red Cross selling cakes outside have all sold out. There's a sale down at Schofield's, and they're spending them big. It's like the circus is in town, and everybody wants a ticket. And I'm taken back to how life used to be in those days before the drought. What a drought it's been. Nellie broke us, but now it seems things are looking up around here. Haven't seen a smile on that cockey's face in years. Haven't seen so many trucks at the roadhouse. It's like a convoy came to town. Things are really picking up. Friday nights are on again down at the pub. It's standing room only like it used to be in here. So raise up your beer, things are looking up round here. It was only 6 months ago. It was like a ghost town. Even the IGA was close to closing down. You could shoot a gun up the main drag, and not at anyone. Yeah, but a couple months of storm clouds feel more than water tanks. Hearing raindrops on that tin roof sound like money in the bank. When you're getting by on nothing, just surviving, waiting for a change to come. And what a change it's been. The lambs are getting fat and the dams are rising. Things are looking up around here. Haven't seen a smile on that cockey's face in years. Haven't seen so many trucks at the roadhouse. It's like a convoy came to town. Things are really picking up. Friday nights are on again down at the pub. It's standing room only like it used to be in here. So raise up your beer, things are looking up round here. Oh, yeah, yeah, they're really looking up round here. Things are looking up round here. Haven't seen a smile on that cockey's face in years. Haven't seen so many trucks at the roadhouse. It's like a convoy came to town. Things are really picking up. Friday nights are on again and Col is gonna shout. It's standing room only like it used to be in here. So raise up your beer. dear things are looking up round here. Ooh. Yeah, looking up around here. Yeah, they're really looking up around here. So raise up your beard. Hopefully things looking up soon, eh? Thanks for tuning in to this and supporting the show, guys. Again, thanks to Col for having me.
Woo!
Oh!
Sorry, I'm a bit late. That's the audience.
Thanks, buddy. As Col mentioned, I'm releasing a single very, very close to my heart in a month or so, and I know Kaz is watching, and I want to say a big Kayleen. Thanks, Kayleen. Yeah, hopefully you can check us out in Tamworth in January. Fingers crossed, though. Appreciate it. I want to say a big shout out to Col and Karen. Those of you who don't know, Col is my manager as well as my great mate, and Karen is also a great mate. And my publicist working on my last single, and going to be working on this one. And I just want to say thanks to those two. Well, I've got them both watching. So a big thanks to them for being in my corner and believing in me and what I do. And also Billy's watching as well. Billy and the amazing musicians I get to work with also believe in me and have my back. It means a lot, especially as an independent artist. So thank you so much, guys. And I cannot wait to work on this single with you. Sorry, Col, I just said it. I'm releasing this song. I'm really excited about it, but it's going to be going to radio soon, and you guys can get involved. We've got some other stuff happening around it, which you can be involved in. So I can't wait to let you know about that. I might even get Billy Hanley to sing some BVs on this one. Here's a song called Dear Dad. Listen out for this one on the radio in a couple of months, and how you can get involved with pre-saving. Here we go. The song's for you, Dad. I had the chance to buy you one more beer. The local where I knew I found you all of those years. Grab those fishing rods and tackle box. Head down to the beach. I'll tell you all about the things you miss since you've been out of reach. I got your photographs and hear you laugh, but it's not the same. Wear your wedding ring and hear you sing, but the memories fade away. Dear Dad, you were by my side when we had. Hold on to so tight, take me back to when I was 17. I'd do anything to have you here with me, if only for a day, just one day, dear Dad. You had the chance to see what I've become. Hope that you'll be proud of me and all that I have done. There's been many times I've needed your advice, like which team to back, which car to buy, how to ask her to be my wife. I got your photographs and hear you laugh, but it's not the same. Wear your wedding ring and hear you sing, but the memories fade away. Dad, you were by my side when we had. Hold on to so tight, take me back to when I was 17. I'd do anything to have you with me, if only for a day, just one day, dear Dad. Yeah, I'll give anything to see you home, my baby boy. I'll give everything to ensure I'm half the man you once were, dear Dad. Wish you were by my side, what we had. Hold on to so tight, take me back to when I was 17. Do anything to have you with me, dear Dad. Wish you were by my side, what we had. Hold on to so tight, take me back to when I was 17. I'd do anything to have you with me. If only for a day, just one day. If only for a day, just one day. If only for a day, dear Dad. Dear Dad.
Woo! Nice work, brother. Man, I love that song.
Thanks, Cole.
Oh my God. Every time
Thanks,
I
buddy.
hear it. You sent me
Yeah,
that
thanks.
bloody the vocals there the other day. I'm just like, my God, stop making me cry.
Oh, thanks, man. It means a lot. And like I said, I can't wait to work with you guys on this fun and getting it out there to the world. So.
Well done. Well, thanks, man, for your time. I got to keep rolling on. We've got a big lineup. Thanks for being a part of the Hats Off to Country special. Christian Brooks just jumped on there. I don't know if he's still on, but he jumped on watching. He's the Services Club, a great supporter of my music, and this weekend is it's a pretty big weekend for venues that normally would be hosting Luke O'Shea and Simply Bush. We were there last year, all that sort of stuff. It's tough times for everyone. So sending our love to Brooksy and all the crew and all the venues down in Tamworth.
All the venues down.
And that's the reason why we're doing this show today is hats off to country, not just for the music, but for the venues and the fans. So, mate, thanks so much. Just one more question before you go. Because we are celebrating Hats Off to Country, what's one moment in your career that was inspired by country music's history or somebody in country music that has inspired you or give you a motivation to do bigger and better things in the country music industry or even just play country music?
One thing that stands out to me, I think it was in 2012 or 2013. I think it was my first Tamworth. And I saw Travis Collins was playing on Peel Street, and he was playing with his band. And he was playing like Summer Love, one of his earliest songs, I Might So Love. And I'm a really big fan of Travis Collins. And the way he interacted with the crowd then, and there was a little kid down in front of him, and the way he interacted with this kid, and he went over and danced with her, it was really cool the way he did that. And I watched him as a front person myself and went, that's really cool. So that's one moment that stands out to me. Another moment is me hanging out with you, Cole, for all these years and seeing your commitment to what you do, man. And sticking at it and having a staying power and creating longevity in my career. That's my goal. So there's a couple for you, buddy.
Well, mate, thanks so much, man. That means a lot, eh? And I'm proud to have you a part of my music and my family, and mate, looking forward to a big future. I've got to say goodbye. I've got the next guest sitting there patiently waiting for to get him on. Mr. Will Day, all the best, mate. Say good day to the family. We'll see you next weekend. Looking forward to hanging out with you.
Take care, everyone. Thanks so much, Cole. See you guys.
Good on you, champ. Will Day. Awesome. Great songwriter, great performer, and just a generally great guy. And check him out on his website, www.willday.com.au. Our next guest, originally from the Shire, moved out to the country, is running one of the best venues out on the New England. And let's bring him on, eh?
Old man kicked the bucket about 7 months ago. They left me with his ashes, and he left me with a note. He read, son, you know I love you. From this world I've been released, and I know you know just what to do, so I can rest in peace. So I hung on to his ashes and the words that he said, and I went out for inspiration to the old man's shed. As I opened up the door, I can still recall his face, as he would try to tell me sternly, everything must have its place. For he tried to educate me, and I never quite could see. He had so many hammers, how many hammers do you need? There were nuts and bolts and washers, there was nothing he would waste. In my old man's shed, everything must have its place.
Johnny K.
Cole, how you going, mate?
Hey, brother. Yeah, good, thanks, mate. How you doing? Whereabouts are you?
I'm where you're meant to be. I'm in Coffs Harbour. I've been here for a week. Red Rock, and tonight I'm hanging out in Coffs Harbour for a few days now.
That's awesome, mate. That's all. Yeah, Hoey Moey, mate, was supposed to be the venue, but you know, sadly, I'm happy that I'm getting to spend some time with my family. And how's your beautiful family? How's Belinda, Brooke, and Jade?
Yeah, well, they're good. I'm watching the video then. I'm thinking, my kids are grown up, and I've got a teenager and a preteen now, and everything's changed. It's changing. It's scary. It's good, but it's scary, and I'm prepared for the whatever comes.
You're prepared. That's the main thing, mate. I've my youngest just turned 10 yesterday, and yeah, it moves pretty quickly, mate. Hey.
Yeah, it does. I was watching that video and seeing them so young, and that was probably filmed in 2016, but they've changed since then. They're kids. They're not so kids anymore. It's scary.
It isn't, mate. It and at the moment, mate.
Age. I just feel young as ever.
That's awesome. I might have to go and drink some of that the Dag water, mate. Must be that stream that's running past your place.
Maybe.
And mate, talking about the Dag, you know, me as a musician, you know, come March, we lost our work, and we've had to sort of invent ourselves to sort of keep our sanity to a degree and keep moving forward musically. But you've copped it from all angles. You as a musician, as a venue owner, hospitality, food, accommodation, the whole lot with your business, with the Dag station, and then you as an artist. How did you cope with that? And, you know, did you just shut the doors and go, it's family time, or?
Pretty much. There's probably another hat I wear that people don't realise. I'm a plasterer by trade, so I've had a plastering business, you know, in Tamworth for over 20 years now. So that kept me sane. I did shut the doors to the Dag. The Dag, unfortunately, had to close, and we're still closed. And that's a big part of my life, as you know. It's what I do on my weekends. It's what I do Monday to Friday, preparing, and losing that part of my life allowed me to concentrate on the family side of things, of course, homeschooling. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I am taking time to breathe, and now the Dag just feels like home. It's okay. I'm feeling for the artists out there, and there's so many venues I know, and so many businesses that have suffered through this whole thing, and you know, I feel for them, and you can rest assured I'm okay. I'm balanced, and it's probably gave me the opportunity to get that balance back into my life.
Yeah, awesome, mate. So, and talking about balance, new album, Burden of the Fool. The difference between traveling to this new album, mate, is it would you call it maturity in the industry, or are these songs that you've had all the time? Like,
I would call it life. Every song has been lived, and it's when I finished traveling, that album Carl Brody helped, and it started from when I was a 20-year-old man. Some of the songs I wrote in my early 20s, right up until 45, and well, I guess Burden of the Fool picks up where Traveling left off. And, it was written over 3.5 years, and a lot happened in that time. And including losing Carl, of course, and watching things around me. And I guess as a songwriter, with all the inspiration I've had, I've just been working on my skills as a songwriter and crafting those songs. But I didn't have help this time round. The first time round, Carl rewrote a lot of those songs that were from the old days, and I sure missed him. So this time I was on my own. It was like just, I guess that was the maturity, and finding, choosing the songs for an album was a tough thing, but choosing the songs that resonated with me and with my friends, my family, my community, and I guess humanity as a whole. There's a lot in this album, and a lot of truth that had to be told.
And people can buy that album on your website. I presume they can get it online. Is it in stores as well?
Yeah, we did release it with Will Osland through Checked, so you can get it through Sanity.
Beautiful.
And through my website. We had a lot of good interest in it. It's had a lot of good reviews, and I do have vinyl that's on its way. I don't know. It was meant to be here months ago, but I think it's going to get stuck in Melbourne now. They tell me for a while, so I don't know. But when it comes, I'll let people know.
Vinyl, mate. You're getting cracking out the nostalgia. You don't see too many albums on vinyl.
Well,
now in today's music.
This album is an album, and it's funny because it's an A-side, B-side. And A-side was recorded at Love Hurt Studio with a band, live tracked. And the B-side was recorded at Studio Gunga, acoustic. And most of these songs were done in one take. And when you're working with Matt Fell and Glenn Hanna and Josh Schubert, those guys had just worked together so well. And I was scared to make a mistake. I just played. And I don't know. If you've ever heard me play, my timing is way out. And Glenn decided just to capture the essence of who I am. And he did that beautifully. And of course, we lost Glenn a month after we recorded the band session. So Matt Fell, he gracefully stepped in and finished the album, and brought Pete Cornelius in on guitars. And Pete did a magnificent job. It's a beautiful album. But it is an A-side, B-side. It's an 11-track album, and it's old school, Cole, just like me.
Yeah, and which brings me to hats off to country. We all be down there celebrating country music. You run a songwriting workshop down there this time of the year.
I can't hear.
Am I there still? Have I gone?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Put your thumb up if you can hear me. Do you want me to do a couple songs? All right, because I've lost the audio. So I'll just do a couple songs for you. And thanks for having me, Carl, and everybody watching. I'm going to kick off with the last song from my album, Burden of the Fool. And I heard Will talking about the drought and everything we've gone through. It's been a tough few years. And I am from the Shire, but I experienced my first drought ever, and it was a tough one. And having to shoot my cattle that I raised, and walking out into the paddocks and just walking on cracked earth, and not a blade of grass and not a drop of water, and just looking to the skies every day and nothing. But there was a lot more going on in my life as well, and my community's life, and it continues. And one thing I'd like to say is that no matter how hard it gets and no matter what we go through, there's always love. And that's what this song is about. It is hope, and it's called Love Finds a Way. There's a little place inside gone quiet, little place I haven't been in a while, and I'll sit back and let things slide. When you build something up to call your own, your blood and sweat and tears are gone, down with the wind you are blown. I said, down with the wind you are blown. That's when love, it finds a way, heals the heart and lights the day. That's when love, it finds a way, heals the heart and lights the day. So I'm standing still with no place to go. I was on the way, then along came this show. Damn, my river stopped my flow, and the days got hard and the sleep got none. Thought I could laugh, but it sure ain't no fun. Everything it worked for's come undone. And that's when love, it finds a way, heals the heart and lights the day. That's when love, it finds a way, heals the heart and lights the day. And there are times when we don't get this right. Deep inside, we know we can't give up the fight. And we won't give up this fight. So the colors are taken, we're black and white. Wings are broken, we ain't got no eye. Like a deep cut wound, bleed ourselves dry. And we're on our knees, praying for rain, searching for reasons to pick us up again. And days like these, we just need a friend. That's right. Days like these, we just need a friend. And that's when love, it finds a way, and it heals our heart and lights the day. That's when love, it finds a way, heals our heart and lights the day. So thank you. That was
Woo! Can you hear me now?
Track number 11 from Burden of the Fool. And this next song I was going to do for you is track number 1. It's Black to Blue. And I did a film clip for this down at my Nundle Memorial Hall. Can you still hear me? And yeah, good, well done. So I did a film clip for this down at Nundle Memorial Hall with 2 beautiful dancers from the Tamworth City Dance Academy. And when you do a film clip, the song was choreographed from another girl from the Academy, Lily, who stood behind the camera and directed the girls. And, you know, a lot of the footage got edited and ended up on the floor, the cutting room floor. So we invited Lily into the studio with the director to re-edit the song. And yesterday we released another version of the film clip, the music video to Black to Blue. So make sure you check it out. It's just the dance. So I'm gone, I'm not in it, but it still pays great memory to Glenn Hanna and Carl Brody, who that song, you know, it is for the memory of those guys. And anyway, I'm going to leave you with this song. Thanks for having me, Carl, on HouseBound. It's a marvelous thing you're doing, and I really appreciate it. And this song is called Black to Blue. Lots of mysteries, so they say. What makes it turn out this way? Rendezvous is here to stay. I took a look inside the silver line and I felt so grounded but not through trying. This many wrongs don't make it right. This old soul checked out long ago. Just like a wheel that's filled, it's now overflown. But I just can't seem to find that place and the time. And open up this bottle, man, there ain't no one to share the wine. And that's when the light, it shines through and turns my black to blue. So we dance like circles in a square, and we try to make sense of what people say. Left us standing on the outside of the line. We joined the dots to make that picture, and we stared in the mirror to see what was in it. How the hell did you turn out like me? These old souls checked out long ago. Just like whales in a field, they're now overflown. We just can't seem to find that place and the time. We open up this bottle, man, there ain't no one to share the wine. And that's when the light, it shines through and turns out black to blue. Stairs take us up to a place that's down, surrounded by so many unknowns around. Try to find a quiet place, it's so loud. Then we tick like clocks that are moving backwards. We fly like storms, all so silent. We hit the ground, we landed on our feet. These old souls checked out long ago. Just like whales in a field, they're now overflown. But I just can't seem to find that place and the time. Open up this bottle, man, there ain't no one to share the wine. And that's when the light, it shines through and turns my black to blue. And that's when the light, it shines through. Turns my black to blue and turns my black to blue. Thank you. I can hear you again, man. Thanks for having me.
No, mate, I had to go out and come back in again. Johnny K, all the best, mate, and stay safe. And looking forward to when this all get back to normal and coming down and having a beer with you, the dag. My friend.
Look forward to it, mate.
All right, mate. Thanks, Johnny. Talk to you soon, mate. Johnny K. Check him out on www.johnkrsulja.com.au. Yeah? So
Yeah.
Get the album on there, support him, love the music, and share the love. Good on you, mate. Take care. All the best to Belinda and the Kells, mate.
Same to your tribe, man.
Thanks, man. Johnny K. Awesome. Sorry about that. I lost my headphones. We're going to keep on rolling. We have got someone very special that is in the thick of it. She knows everything that's going on in the industry. She's she's a manager, she's a journalist, she's a publicist, she's got a finger on the pulse. I'd like to welcome to the to HouseBound. Good morning to Beck Gracie. Hey Beck, how are you now?
Good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well. If I can keep my sound happening, you know, technology, it's a beautiful thing. Good to have you, darling. Thanks so much for your time. I know it's a busy time of the, busy time for all of us in a sense that live streaming has probably taken up the void that we have. But you as a publicist, manager and a journalist, it keeps rolling pretty thick for you, yeah?
Yeah, so I thought, when this all happened, I thought, oh, here we go. Like it's going to be, 2020 was going to be an amazing year, and then I thought, nah, this is it. It's going to be a really quiet year, but the release, I had obviously a few people cancelled releases because they were, it was tied in with a tour. But yeah, other like single releases have really taken off. And yeah, obviously, and I've been working with John Krsulja, which has been really exciting on his singles and album. And yeah, like, so we've had what I thought was going to be, I thought it was going to be a great year. Then I thought it was going to be a quiet year. Has now turned into a really busy year, but still not a great year because I just there's so many of my mates and everyone is just hurting so badly because we can't get out on the road, and I'm missing I'm missing even lugging gear. Like just crazy, but I am.
Yeah, because you manage young Jared. Is that right?
Aaron Jerd.
Sorry, Aaron Jerd. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I said Jared. I was thinking Jerd, Aaron Jerd.
Jerd.
So how's he doing? As from a manager's point of view, how do you sort of look after? I know what I did with Will, and there's a lot of advice and keeping their focus on the path that they've got to keep. Which with Will, he's a performer and he gets out and does a lot of work. So it's been pretty good. He's got this day job. How's it with Aaron, with you as a manager? What's something that you've done to keep him on track?
Yeah, so Aaron, like, most of the artists, has a day job, so that's been keeping him very busy. So he's been writing and all that kind of thing. And, we've been talking about, plans for what's going to happen when we finish this lockdown period, whenever that may end. So we've just really been just planning ahead is really what it comes down to. Just, keeping positive about how things are going to work out.
Yeah. And it's, scary part is Denny Ute must have announced this morning, or it might have been last night. I'm not online
this morning,
a lot, but this morning have announced that they've cancelled this year's event. So currently, to my knowledge, there's only one country music festival that is still promoting, which is here in Queensland, which is VDM Festival.
Yep. And we've
Yep.
We've also got, I'm involved in a festival that's being run on Great Keppel Island, which I was supposed to be going to this coming weekend, or not this week, not Hats Off weekend, next weekend. And we've pushed till November the 13th. We're going to run.
Okay.
So cool. So there are two festivals that I know of that are still going ahead. So
that's fantastic, and look, it's all about trying to shuffle it. And I know the fans are so you look at CMC. It being the first major festival in Australia to be canned, and the fan support behind that has been true to the country fan. They understand. They're moving to the next state. The possibility of it being an all-Australian lineup, there's a little bit of confliction with people's views on that. I get it. I get that festival is an international festival, and that's what you pay for. And the comments that they can see any of the Australian country artists at any RSL, I think is a little bit too generalised, but it is true, and I get it. But they've got to do something, and I think going an all-Australian lineup for next year is a fantastic idea to keep the festival alive and surviving and moving forward. I've been looking, like when they made the announcement a couple of Sunday, when that article came out with Chug saying that it was going to be an all-Australian lineup, I couldn't have been happier. Like I love international country music. I love, American country artists and Canadians and the UK artists that they get over here. But when this all happened and they called off CMC they called it off for that date and were going to move it and then couldn't. And then there was talk of how long the borders were going to be closed. I had this kind of like, I like to look at the positive side of things, and I went, well, what? This is a good thing for the Australian country music industry, because I think we sometimes do focus. There are some fans who focus a lot on how talented the American or the Canadian or UK or wherever
artists are, but lose sight of how much talent we have within our borders, which is ridiculous amounts of talent. And in the last 10 years, particularly in the last 10 years, I think the Australian country music industry has really lifted its game, and we can take on anyone on that the international stage. We've got so many artists who are just as good. And when they replaced Miranda Lambert a couple of years ago in The Hunter with John Williamson, people were up in arms about that. And I even thought, that's an interesting replacement because they're nothing like each other. But he killed it. And so many people said, we'd never seen him live, blah, blah, blah. And we can't believe how good he is. And I'm really hoping that these, a lot of these people are saying, we're going to ask for a refund and all that kind of thing. I'm hoping that instead they go, no, we're gonna support this festival. Just like we have every other year, and go and find out exactly how much talent we have, in Australia, and we'll be able to include New Zealand, I imagine, seeing as how they've handled the virus. I think we just we need to really focus on the opportunities that this is going to bring for Australian artists who obviously not every Australian artist, but Australian artists who have that quality of performance and songwriting and all of that, and professionalism that they can play with those artists on the international stage.
What do you think the fans that do generalize Australian country music as, do you think they still have the mentality that Australian country music is, and God rest his soul, I'm a big Slim Dusty fan, but do you think that that's what they think we're still sitting at as country music, which is not a bad thing? I love the balladeers. I love that side of country music. It's what I was bred on. It's not what I do, but do you think that's their mentality, is that they think that they're going to get John Williamson for a 3-day event where we've got Casey Barnes, we've got some great Adam probably won't be back then, but Adam Brand, you've got Troy Casadali who can walk on those big stages and just wow everyone.
We'll see. It's interesting with the Adam Brand thing. He should be back performing later this year. So he was booked for CMC this year. So I'm hoping that that just means that the Australian artists who are booked for this year hopefully will just be rebooked for next year.
Yes.
And then add to that. And yes, I don't know if maybe there is a bit of that mentality that maybe our artists are a little more traditional than the CMC audience likes. But I think that if they have a good look at how many contemporary and country rock artists and country pop artists and all that kind of thing that CMC does best, that's their audience. Their audience isn't that traditional bush ballad style, but we've got plenty of artists who completely fit that other style, and I think that it will open up their eyes and they'll go, oh, hang on, we can play with these big players on the international scene as well, because our artists are just as rocking and just as out there performing as these other artists are. So
I totally agree. I think we've gone in leaps and bounds. 10 years ago, there was a big difference between Nashville music and Australian country music. I think we are surpassing Nashville to a degree. I was in Nashville last year. I didn't like where Nashville was sitting because of the commercial side. I think Australian country rock and the genre that we're pushing now, modern country in Australia, is so good. It's so visual, and it's got great sound. And I think Casey Barnes and Lee and all those guys that are producing this music now are doing they're doing a great job in keeping Australian country music out there to the world. So it's fantastic. So hats off for country. It's happening right now, but in a different way. See, this time last year, you would have been bouncing around venues, doing interviews for media, taking photos for the paper, and catching up with your friends. And because festivals for me in Tamworth it's a reunion. Hats off is a reunion for the colder climate people, and then January Tamworth Festival is the catch up for the whole industries. What's happening in Tamworth right now, Beck?
Well, last night I saw my first live gig in 4 months, and I couldn't have been happier. It was Ashley Dallas.
I've seen that.
So as part of Hats Off, they did at West. They did a live stream, but it was live streamed with a live audience. So it was the best of both worlds. So if you couldn't get to Tamworth this weekend, you could still see her perform, and we got to see her perform, live in the flesh.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was just great to catch up with, lots of industry people were there and lots of Tamworth fans, and it was so good. Ashley's getting involved in that one. I like that. It was just so good to see her back on stage, because we live about 6 blocks from each other out here, and yeah, it was just so good to see her back on stage and get live music back happening in Tamworth. And there's a bit more live music happening throughout the weekend. But in terms of Hats Off as a whole, it's gone online. So there are artists doing pre-recorded live shows and also live shows. So it starts again at 5:30 this afternoon with Elise Simmons, and then continues on across the weekend with different shows. Like I know. There's, Tamworth Songwriters Association are having Songwriters in the Round events. I know that Luke O'Shea's dinner show, which is always a favourite, he's doing that from his own dinner table, which will be very cool.
I wonder what he's going to cook for us.
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing in lockdown. A lot of the artists have been showing off their cooking skills, which has been great. Which is fantastic. And we've got people like Viper Creek on tonight, and there's so many. We've got some Nashville, expat Australians who are living in Nashville, doing lives, with Katrina Burgoyne and Camille and Stewie. There's pretty much, if you're into traditional country music, you're into pop country music, you're into rocking country music, singer-songwriter, there's pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. And how do people get to view this? Is all from the Hats Off to Country Facebook page.
Yes.
So they just have to go to that page. They can just
stay there all weekend.
Stay there all weekend. Put it on your smart TV in the lounge room, in the man shed, wherever, and you can get entertained for the whole weekend. So I watched Ashley last night, and that was a great comment that Ashley just put up there about the difference between performing in an RSL to performing on a main stage is a whole different show in its own right. And Ashley knows, as she does, she's an amazing performer in both styles of shows. And and it is, the production's bigger, the stages are bigger, and it's a whole different. Given the opportunity, artists like myself or Ashley or whatever, you take up the challenge and you make it work, and the fans will get to see someone like Ashley do a major stage show and be blown away by it. I totally love the idea of the festival doing an all-Australian lineup. So hopefully Ashley's on it. So
that would be great.
Yeah. Well, Beck, look, we've got to keep rolling. I've got Michael Waugh sitting back there. He's probably drank all his coffee. He's sitting in the green room. Thanks so much for your time today. I'd love to get you back on the show and to talk more. There's so much going on. I wanted to chat to you about the Air Awards, which we've got some Felicity Urquhart and Lee Koenigan are up for Country Album of the Year for the Australian Independent Recording Artist Awards. They've been announced and they've been confirmed for this year. Things like that. I wanted to touch base on just the industry as a whole, the media side of things, and where we're going. So I'd love to get you back on. We'll make sure there's I've got a bit more time to have a bit of a natter with you.
I'll try to be more organised.
Too easy. No, I love your work, Beck, and thanks so much for all your support of all of the live streaming. Every week you're posting everyone's live streams, and that love and support from everyone is what keeps us going. So thank you so much from my team for helping us promote it and let people know that we're doing this this show. So all the best, Beck.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy your weekend for Hats Off.
Yes, you too.
You're welcome anytime. All right, Beck. Take care, darling.
See you later. Bye.
Beck Gracie, manager, journalist, and publicist, and just a lovely, lovely lady. Have known Beck for a lot of years, and most people would know Beck because she's the main journalist for the Leader, and probably you had your photo snapped and all that sort of stuff for the Leader during the Tamworth Festival. This next guest that I've got for Good Morning HouseBound is just an amazing songwriter, just a great guy, and I've had the privilege of sitting on stage with him doing songwriting showcase this year at the Tamworth Country Music Festival. We got to do the songwriters in a round at the Tamworth Services Club together, and it was just such a journey. I was sitting on stage. I'm a very proud songwriter, but when you sit with people like this guy and you hear the stories and how from the ground up they are just stories that take you on the, it's like he's singing your story. There's a song called Big Things that he's written, which is exactly how I lived my life with my mum and dad on the road in the back of the old Ford, traveling past all these iconic things in Australia. And this guy, Michael Waugh, is just an amazing songwriter. And let's
skyrocket at the Lions Pad. I could see the whole town through the bars at the top. And I counted from 10 to blast off. But I knew that we'd never leave the 10 back. Didn't have holidays growing up. We were always milking and always broke. And all Mama wanted was a suntan. She talked Dad into driving up to Queensland. And I met my country from the back of a car. Outside a stall saw a big koala flying up the mule to the big guitar. I come from a little place, but I've seen a lot of big things. If you want a family fight, here's a recipe. Like 3 of us boys in a cramped back seat. Drive for a day to Sydney. Get Mum to read a map, get Dad to tow a van through the city.
Hey, legend.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing good, mate. Michael Waugh, welcome to Good Morning HouseBound, mate. Thanks so much for taking out some time for us to have a bit of a chat and play a few of your tracks and catch up, mate. How's life for you?
Well, at the moment, I'm obviously in Melbourne, so we're in this epicenter of the pandemic at the moment. It's not great down here, and it's bloody cold too. So I'm just thanking God for good central heating.
Well, mate, I mentioned earlier in the show that we're our thoughts go out to everyone in Melbourne at the moment as they're hit with the second wave. It must be pretty scary at the moment. It was scary when it first hit. It must be even scarier now knowing what it's all about. And then suddenly there's just a huge 200 and something new cases in the last 24 hours. It must be pretty scary for you there, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, though, that last time there was a sense that we were all in this together. And now it feels a little bit more like we've just let the team down. So I think that kind of there's something that's a bit more challenging about it this time around. I also work full time in a school too, so I just know that there was an energy when we started this whole thing that it was like, there was powerful ads on TV and everyone putting stuff online about, we're all in this together. And by the end of that, first period of shutdown, the kids were starting to get a bit jack of it. And so I don't know how they're going to go coming back into term 3. And certainly all of my musician friends as well, who are kind of sitting on their hands at the moment, just waiting to get back into the game, watching gigs progressively get cancelled into the future. But, it's thanks to people like you, with initiatives like this that give people a chance to still make those connections that we do through music, which is wonderful.
Yeah, well, that was the idea when I sat down and spoke to a few people about what we could do. I'm not one for playing live streaming. That's the reason I'm better to talk, and that's the reason why I designed the show for me to host more so than sing. I'm more of a band performer, so me on my own acoustic guitar, I'll do one or two songs here and there, but I'm like yourself. There's a lot of people out there that need it more than I do, and I put this show together to give them a little bit more hope, you know what I mean, and have conversations with people like yourself, so our fans can see that we're doing okay. We're still here, and we're surviving and sharing the love and our music together as a family. We are.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I've had a couple of opportunities to do some live to airs, but as you say, I think it's really. I feel it's really important to leave that live to air space to those people who are trying to generate their full income from music. Yeah. I'm lucky because I have teaching and I love teaching, but also I love writing too. So this has been a period where I've had a lot of a chance to do some reflection and writing and thinking. Because there's been some really tough stuff going on in my world this year too. My dad passed away in mid-January, just before Tamworth, and then Mum passed away on the 5th of March. So we've had a really tough time personally, and so. While it's been a terrible thing for the world that we've gone into pandemic and shut down, for me, it's been actually really beautiful to spend time, going for walks with my wife, but picking up my guitar and doing a lot of writing and a lot of thinking. So, yeah, I'm very grateful that I've had that opportunity to be able to do that.
Well, mate, I'm sorry for your loss, and it would be pretty hard then to go through what we're going through now, mate. So we're thinking of you, and well, mate, look, let's roll on to the first song I'd love to play, and a song that you suggested to play, which is The Weir. I love it. For me, it resonates. I didn't get to go to the Weir, but we had a creek, and it was a place that we went to. And this is what I love about your songwriting. It mightn't generally be directed directly at my life, but it sucks me in because it is like my life. And I think that's the anyone that listens to it, you're able to put those words together that make that happen. Do you know what I mean? So I love your songwriting. Congratulations on what you've presented. I think 3 albums now. What we might be, Asphalt on the Oval and The Weir is your current album. 3 fantastic albums, man, and all 3 albums take you on a journey of our own lives. It's your stories, but it's you're really connecting, mate, and I've just got to congratulate you on that. So
thank you.
So thank you for sharing your stories. It's an absolute honor. Tell us about The Weir.
Well, The Weir is a song about Lake Glen Mackie, which is the irrigation reservoir for the dairy farming community where I grew up. So it was really vital to our well-being, to our livelihood. So when we were in periods of drought, which we often were when I was growing up, and the Weir dried up, it was, the money dried up too. And when the Weir was full, it was like, equally important thing. So we'd often monitor, the Weir's at such and such a percentage at the moment. But it was also the place that we'd go for holidays, holidays. We didn't really get holidays, but like just for little breaks, we'd go down, and it would be the place you go fishing, or the place you go swimming, or place that you go when you're a teenager and sneak in some drinks. And it was really, for me, it's like the quintessential part of, my home community. I think too, there was a special moment during one of those droughts where we drove out to the center of it, and we saw the old farmhouse that sat there before the weir dried up. And it was this incredible moment for me of realizing that underneath this place that I've been swimming my whole life was this whole other life that people had lived. So yeah, this is a song about, you know, being Australian, but also what lies underneath it.
Bottle of cream and soda from a woman who called me loud. I dropped the change into a guard dog box by a tray of custard tarts, and the pies from the Maffra bakery, famous all over the world. There's a sign that says so on the drinks fridge, near a picture of a big and good. When we used to drive down at the weir, throwing tennis balls in for the dogs to retrieve, while an old man sitting on a camp chair's fishing down at the Waugh. There's a bottle of Brandivino, broken by the spirit of last night's fire. There's a speedboat screaming around Glen Maggie, dragging kids on a tractor tire. There's a fly blown on the roadside. There's a coffin of plastic rose. There's a sign that says no shooting, riddled with bullet holes. When we used to drive down every weir, throwing tennis balls in for the dogs to retrieve, while an old man sitting on a camp chair's fishing down at the Waugh. Remember that awful drought when the weir dried up and we took the fair lane out, drove across the dried up mud to the rotten farmhouse, stood there before the flood. Wonder how many summers I swam over that roof now, knowing what lies underneath. How many people there'll be skimming rocks over ghosts at the places that I used to be. Oh, the rivers come here, back to the weir. Back to the weir. An old man pulls a fishing line in to see what he hasn't caught. Teenager checks out the girls in the water, pulling bull ants from his football shorts. I come here when it's late in the summer and I can't make sense of it all. I still bring a pie from the bakery, 'cause they're the best bloody pies in the world. When we used to drive down at the weir, throwing tennis balls in for the dogs to retrieve, and we used to dive into the weir, down at the wheel wall. When we used to drive down at the weir, throwing tennis balls in for the dogs to retrieve, and we used to dive into the weir, down at the wheel wall. Down at the wheel, down at the wheel wall, down at the wheel.
Yeah. Mate, the best pies, I tell you.
Best bloody pies in the world.
But how do you lyrically? how do you, I don't know, you just put these words together. Is it a musical thing first, or do you have these lyrics penned out? What's your format of putting these amazing songs together?
Do you know, like for me, there's not really a formula. Like it kind of happens in every song kind of happens differently for me. I usually have a moment where there is a confluence of a particular lyrical idea and a musical idea that comes together, and that's kind of the soul of the song, and then everything else is about bringing it together. But in the past I've likened it a bit to, when there's a conversation happening in a room nearby and you've got to listen really quietly, really carefully to make out what they're saying. And it's like, so that's kind of the sensation of writing a song. Sometimes it's like trying to tune into whatever that thing was that's meant to be said, and sometimes you go, nah, that's not right, and you chuck it out. But and look, I don't know, songs for me, sometimes it's like I'll write a song in 2 hours, and sometimes I've just finished a song that took me 2 years to finish, because I just kept on going, nah, that's wrong, that's not right. So I don't know. And I think every songwriter is different too. You'd be the same. Yeah. But go on.
I agree totally, man. You can sort of see the formula. Like when you hear a song that's been written to a formula, it doesn't have the essence that you present in your songs. I believe the foundation's a lot different, because you're drawing from your heart and your emotions that you felt back in that day, going to the wheel, like you said, going out to the middle of the wheel when it was dry, and find out a whole new story that you've been swimming over for years. That's stuff that we get from that sort of song, and I just love it. I love what you do. And as I said, I had the privilege of sitting on stage beside you, shitting myself, because here I am. We had Alan Caswell. Was it Alan Caswell, wasn't it?
No, it was Brad Butcher.
Brad Butcher, that's right. You and Brad, like the two masters of songwriters, and I'm sitting at the end, right at the back corner there, going, "Oh my God, what have I got myself into?" But it was an absolute honor to sit there and listen to both you guys telling your stories. That and all of us, we all tell our stories, and we all write songs differently. So, mate, as I said before, congratulations. I got to touch on Shane. Sorry, mate, I just dropped my earbud. Shane Nicholson's produced all 3 of your albums. Where did this relationship start? Like, Shane in himself is an amazing producer, songwriter, musician. How did you guys meet, and then end up producing 3 albums?
Yeah. Well, I think that first point is like key to it. So I came to songwriting and playing a lot later in life than lots of people. So I hadn't touched a guitar for about 10 years before 2012, and then I started writing again. And by 2014, I kind of had this body of work that I was really proud of, and started looking for a producer. And I heard Shane's work. I actually accidentally, I heard a Jenny Queen song, and I just loved the production work on it. And then worked out that it was Shane. And for me, that was this really special thing of a guy who was close to my age, who was making this beautiful production work, who was also a songwriter. So it was really interesting, and reached out to him and said, like, are you available to make this record? And he didn't respond. And that year we were both booked for the Port Fairy Folk Festival. And at Port Fairy, there was a big songwriters round, and there was like 7 of us on stage together. So there was like 6 famous people and me. And so it was kind of this really terrifying thing, because like Shano was like 2 people down from me. I was like, holy moly, and there was 2,000 people in this massive tent at Port Fairy. So I started playing Paul, which is a song that was recorded on my first record. and it's a song about bullying and growing up in a country town, and it really resonated with the audience. Like, they really, really loved it, and it was a really powerful emotional experience for me. It's like I'm crying, the woman who was singing with me was crying, like the audience is like standing ovation. And my wife was sitting in the front row. She goes, "Through that song, Shane kept turning around to look at who you were." And I went, "No, he didn't." But anyway, like 48 hours later, he got in touch, finally returned the call. So it was like this lovely moment of us kind of like meeting literally on stage together. And when we started talking about what songwriting meant to us, the stories, what the stories meant to us in music, forged this relationship that has grown deeper with every record. Yeah. And so we, like, as you said, like, we've made 3 records together now. And I suppose, like, when you become really good mates with someone, that you start to share more of yourself. And I feel like that's what Shane has allowed me to do, to be able to share more of myself as a writer. And, you know, there's very personal stories on, you know, this new record. But equally too, I think that I've grown then as a musician because of, you know, that tutoring that you get from someone like him, who just understands rhythm and harmony and arrangement in a way that consistently blows my mind. Yeah. So yeah, there's my Shane Nicholson rant. Highly recommended.
Well, mate, I'm a big fan of Shane's, and I'm a big fan of yours. And as I said before, congratulations on 3 amazing albums, from the beginning of What We Might Be to Asphalt on the Oval, and to now The Weir, which you can get all of those albums through all the major Sanity and JB Hi-Fi and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So please, folks, go and check out Michael on www.michaelwaugh.com.au. Let him know that you've seen him on the show. Please support him, buy his albums, and when he gets back on the road, when we're all back on the road, go and watch a show, because I guarantee you will walk out drier than a desert, because you'll be crying, you'll be laughing. An amazing show, mate. I love watching your work, and I look forward to doing some more work with you in the future, mate. So
it'll be good.
Mate, we're going to finish off with one more song. Big Things. I mentioned it in the intro. Dude, my mum and dad, we used to travel around Australia showing blue-heeler dogs. So we used to travel in an old Valiant ute, and me and my older brother had to sort of draw straws on who would go in the back of the ute. This is back in the days when you could actually have kids with no seatbelts on. And I'm not that old, but so it was either me and my brother in the back of a Valiant ute with the dogs, and Dad would be towing the caravan, and we'd be poking our head out when we'd come into towns, and you'd be going to Coffs Harbour, or you'd be going down to Bega or Eden or out west or whatever, and just seeing Australia roll by. And you took me straight back to that with this song. Is that what you meant to do with Big Things?
I write very personally. Like, I always write for me, but I love when I say, because honestly, as a writer, I kept on believing this lie that I had to talk generally for people to generally get it. And I suppose because I was so much older when I started rewriting again, that I just stopped caring about and just started writing about what I knew. And the more that I was writing about the things that I knew, the more that people recognize their own story in it. So I love that you remember that trip in your Valiant ute, because for me, I was very much writing, like, there's a moment in that second verse where we talk about the trip through Sydney. It's still etched in my mind, this like, trip where we were towing a caravan. Partway through, Dad decided it was a good idea to stop off at King's Cross, and King's Cross in the middle of the 80s was not a place that you wanted to bring little kids to. Like going down the wrong way, down a one-way street, getting caught on the Sydney Harbour Bridge, Mum trying to read the map and turning it upside down, and it was hilarious, but and terrifying at the same time. And it's those, I don't know, like, the song actually started for me as a writer at the very end, because the song is about that I come from a little place, but but I've seen a lot of big things. So it's my little town that's actually the big thing. And it took me a long time, and I saw a lot of the world before I realized how much that was the heart of Australia. As we've already established, it's got the best bloody pies in the world there too.
It has, mate. And that rocket ship, I've climbed that many rocket ships across Australia as a kid. I think nearly every small country town must have got a grant from the government to put up a rocket ship in there as one of their local public parks, because I remember Goulburn, going to Goulburn. There was one at Goulburn. There was one going out to Finley, out in Western New South Wales. There was one there, and as a kid, you'd get to the top, you'd be taken off, but you'd never ever leave the Tambar. And
that's the one.
That resonates so much. We're gonna finish with this your spot with this song, mate. I want to thank you so much for your time, Michael. Mate, you're an absolute gem. As Shane Nicholson said, it's another masterclass from Michael Waugh with his songwriting. So thank you so much for your time, mate. I know you're busy, and all the best for what's going on down in Victoria, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks, Cole.
Here's Michael Waugh with Big Things.
It wasn't big skyrocket at the Lions Park. I could see the whole town through the bars at the top. And I counted from 10 to blast off. But I knew that we'd never leave the tan back. We didn't have holidays growing up. We were always milking and always broke. And all Mama wanted was a suntan. She talked Dad into driving up to Queensland. And I met my country from the back of a car. Outside a stall saw a big koala flying up and new to the big guitar. I come from a little place, but I've seen a lot of big things. If you want a family fight, here's a recipe. Like 3 of us boys in a cramped back seat. Drive for a day to Sydney. Get Mum to read a map. Get Dad to tow a van through the city. And every road leads to the harbour bridge. And every bugger's in the lane you want to merge in. So many one-way streets in this damn town, and you can't hang a Huey with a caravan. And I met my country from the back of a car. Saw a big pineapple, a big banana, so much fruit made of fiberglass. Well, I come from a little place, but I've seen a lot of big things. We filled a camera roll at the picnic spots up and down the coast. So many family pics standing awkwardly posed in front of big things. When we get back home, the cows are waiting for Dad. Mum's sunburn faded and she never tanned. I went back to the rocket park, and I took another look at my town from the top. So Dad's overalls on the laundry floor, blackened and singed from an SES call. So Mum in her gumboots in the living room, trying to sweep out the river with the Kmart broom. I seen the kitchen bench full of casserole dishes that the neighbours bought when my mum got sick. I've seen a big fire, I've seen a big flood, I've seen a little town with a great big heart. I know that this rocket won't ever launch, but there are big things here without flying up north. I come from a little place, but I've seen a lot of big things. I come from a little place, but I've seen a lot of big things. From a big skyrocket at the Lions Park.
Michael Waugh with Big Things, incredible songwriter, great storyteller, very emotional. Thanks so much, Michael, for being a part of Good Morning HouseBound. We've got to keep rolling. We're running a little bit behind time, and in the green room right now is an amazing band. They've been performing and touring and recording for over a decade now. They've been good friends, and I just love what they do. They've got some great stuff. Let's bring them in. I think that Jetty Rock.
Baby, tonight we will play the game as long as you're mine. We could take on anything, work every day to pay the rent for a great big house and a picket fence. Maybe, baby, maybe tonight we can try to break away, try to break away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So come and take my hand, we can run off and join the band. We can do it all just because we can. Hey, hey, come on now, we don't need no plans. Just fly by the seat of our pants. We can do it all just because we can. Hey, hey, because we can. We can wander the world, you and me and our vagabond heart. We'll follow the sun, yeah, find a home wherever we are. Sleeping out here under the sky with shooting stars and satellites. Maybe, baby, maybe tonight we can set the world on fire.
Hey guys.
Hello.
Hey, Cole. How are you?
Yeah, good. Lee, Paula, and Julian, how are yous? You got me there?
Oh, well, restrictions started yesterday, Cole. Yeah, we're in lockdown again down here, so it's been a bit interesting, and we've come together today, and yeah, we've done our very, very best. It's been a bit tricky though.
No, I understand. We've been thinking of you, and as Michael said, it seems like you guys have been left out hang to dry because it's all happening in Victoria, and we feel so sorry for you. And it's pretty scary at the moment down there for you, yeah.
Yeah, we just got to kind of, particularly in Melbourne, not so much in rural Victoria, but in Melbourne, yeah, we just got to stay home as much as we can, and we did it at the start, so we can do it again, and yeah, it's
we just got to get people to take this seriously, and just get cracking, and
because we don't want to be doing this for a third time.
Not at all. The scary part, I suppose, for us, I'm in Queensland and we've had 0 cases for a while, and you can feel that people don't care. It's like it didn't exist. Me and Nellie and the kids, we're still very COVID active. Nell runs a hair salon, and there's a whole procedure that people have to go through before they come into the salon, and we can't even go into the salon now to see her if we go down there because there might be too many people in the room. But then you just go down the street and it's just jam-packed full of people. It's like they're all on top of each other and going, what are you doing?
I know.
Like, is that...
People have forgotten about social distancing.
Oh, and also, Cole, was going to say that, can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Cool. That small businesses are the big losers out of all this.
Yeah.
It's going to be really tough for them to, especially down here, come through this second wave and get back on their feet again. But I think that we just need to think optimistically and, see everyone at the other end. I mean, I don't know how we're a small business. We can't go out and tour. We can't. In fact, today I'm social distancing. Like normally I'm up with these guys, and I've got a social distance today for this gig. So
I thought that's how they treated you all the time.
Yeah, she smells.
I have to do my best to sing quietly because the way we work, whenever we do a gig, and they say to the sound guy, put Julian at 70% with his vocals.
Yeah, yeah.
But I always fight and say 80. Put me at 80.
Yeah.
So I have to do my best to sing as quiet as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because Julian, it's not all about you, mate.
Yeah. I tell him that all the time.
As
like 10 years ago.
You guys have had an incredible career, and the beautiful thing about when I started doing this show, I didn't realize that I would get to learn stuff that I didn't know about people that I've known for so long. Like, we've been friends for pretty much over a decade now, and done Mildura and Tamworth, a lot of big festivals. But you sort of, you get to catch up, you have a beer, you chat, you talk about families and all that sort of stuff. But I've got to research artists now and learn. You guys have been nominated, and Nellie have won every major award country music can offer. Like from Golden Guitars, Mildura, to the Tiaras, Victorian Awards, the Tasmanian Awards. Probably the only one you haven't won is a New Zealand one. Have you knocked off a New Zealand?
Well, you're right there. The one we haven't won actually in Australia is an APRA award, but we have been nominated for an APRA award
and an ARIA. How good would that be? But I know that's dreams again, like the Golden Guitars. You just you have your goals, you work towards, and
But you guys did get a Golden Guitar. You got best group back twice. So there you go. So like. Dreams do come true.
She's saying peace, man, peace. Yeah.
Oh, she's not saying. Because I'm thinking, hang on, did I misread? Did you win it twice?
No,
you won it once, but
we have won it twice. Yeah,
we've won it twice.
Yeah,
And
that's
what?
awesome.
The reason why it's not that we're showing off, because this is not a show-off industry. It's when you get those wins, you got to celebrate them, I suppose, and grab hold of them, because sometimes, as we're living with right now, there are a lot of ups and downs in this industry, and you've just got to have those little trophies and those awards and certificates on display so that you can
keep going,
give yourself a kick.
Because we're cheering ourselves on, because I mean, it's good that there's three of us in this group, because I mean, if you're just a solo artist anyway, you just got to really keep being your biggest supporter and cheer yourself on, because I mean, we love music, but God, if you didn't love it, you wouldn't do it, because there's a lot of hard work. And I think there's a lot of artists out there, we all understand that, but we love music and we love playing for people, and that's the reason why we do it.
And it is the hardest part of what's going on, because put aside all the awards and the achievements that we do, the biggest achievement is to get to share that with the fans. Yeah. So when this is the part that I probably, right now I'm supposed to be on tour through New South Wales, and I get up yesterday morning going, thinking I've got to pack my bag to head to the first gig, and I'm not going anywhere, which I'm enjoying being home with my family and my kids. I've learned how to mow the lawn again. All of that sort of stuff that I didn't do for years, I'm getting to do it. But the biggest thing right now is that we can't do what we love doing the most, which is performing, and that's tough. How are you guys getting through that?
Oh, well, I have to say, Julian and myself, we're because we've got 4.5-year-old twins, and we lived in a house, a 2-bedroom weatherboard house, and only at the very start of the first lockdown, when the coronavirus hit big time, we had started extending our house. So we had knocked down part of our house and bulldozed our backyards. So we have been streaming ahead, and we are at lock-up stage now for our house, and that has been the biggest. Jules has been a tradie. He's been doing it every day, and that has been our blessing for us. Like, we've been able to focus fully on that. Paula, she's been bored.
Can you give me some work to do? Because these guys are so busy every day, and I've just got to sit here and try and drum up work that doesn't exist at the moment. It's just
Well, like a good aunt, you should be taking the twins, looking after them.
Oh,
She did the other day. She did have all three of them. So she had Jazzy, Jack, and Layla all, and they spent a nice day together, and that definitely helps.
But Cole, just remember, it's winter down here in Melbourne right now.
Yeah.
So there's no going outside and playing outside in t-shirts. So it makes it really much harder. So and because now the restrictions, they can get together less.
Yeah.
And do things that they want to do less. We can't go to playgrounds. The kids can't do all that sort of stuff. So it does make it really, really challenging.
So homeschooling, Julian, Lee, who was the teacher?
Lyle, they're going to kinder next year, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not at the homeschooling age.
Thank God for that.
I teach them a little bit, but nothing specific.
No, you're
try
good.
to do some
You're good.
fun teaching
He's
without
good.
them thinking I'm teaching them something.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Right now, Cole, we're teaching them good manners and teaching them to eat good food. Just all that kind of stuff.
And not to wake up in the middle of the night and call out for mum or dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I'm hearing you. We were pretty much blessed with the lockdown that Nellie's work, being a hair salon, was classified as essential. We sort of still scratch our head on how that's essential, but I suppose people needed to look good to do live streams. So, but it was crazy. We sat up there when it first happened. We sat up there nearly every night watching the news, waiting for Nell to be shut down. The music industry was the first industry to be shut down. But Nell's been working, which has been a godsend because we've had that income for the household. Because my company, which is a marketing promotions company for music and events, it got pretty much squashed, and my music pretty much stopped. So 100% income for me was gone. But I ended up becoming a teacher for the kids because I've got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. So I had to go into full school mode and become Principal Finley. So each morning I was the hard principal, got them into the routine of school, and then I'd be the quirky teacher sitting, and I would actually go and get dressed in the quirky clothes and put a tie on and play the role to get my headspace into doing it, because I never thought I'd become a teacher. I never thought that I'm not educated at all, and here I am trying to educate kids that know more than me.
Does it suit you, Cole? Do you like being a principal?
I like being the principal because I just got to sit in the office like I normally do. The teacher part was hard, but the beautiful thing about it was I got to learn more about my kids, and we rely on the schools to tell us as parents how well they're going. All of a sudden, I got to sit with them for 2 months and actually see how well they're going and how progressed they were, and it was good. My boys, they both said, "Oh, we prefer to get homeschooled than go to school." And I've gone, that's not going to happen. But it was good. It was nice to get that sort of approval from them. So music, guys. What's you've got the new single out? It's been out, which with the intro. That's a cracking song. Love it.
Thank you
very much.
Yes, that was from the newest album, the Because We Can album.
Yep.
Yeah, it's time goes quickly. When was that? That was released last year.
Yeah,
last September.
So that's your most recent one. Sorry,
no,
that was your most recent song.
No, we had a few more. That was the first single released off the new album. So
Right.
we've had a few more released after that.
That song was pretty much written, I think, because we had kids. Between our last release and this release, we had kids. And we thought, how are we ever going to get back to writing and recording and touring another album? And so it took us a while to get the swing of things, but we had to sit there and schedule every Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday afternoon for 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And we sat down there and we all sat down and wrote. And this song was all about, you know what? We can do this. We can do. We've. Don't they know who we are? Don't we know who we are? No, I'm just joking.
But it's about kind of like the joy of the feeling that we get on stage. It's such a joyful feeling that we wanted to make that translate to a song that and be able to play this on stage. And it's about following your dreams and not doing what everybody else wants you to kind of do, being a sheep and going like 9 to 5. Some people love that, but if you don't feel like doing that, you need to follow your own arrow and do that.
Yeah. How is for me, being a dad, or starting the family I did with Nell, getting married. Nell had to pull away from her music career to become the mum. She chose that, and she's very proud she chose that. She doesn't regret it. We are working on a project together now for the new year, 2021. We're going to do something together because I think it's time. It's been 10 years since she's done anything, and we both sing around the house together. For me to keep doing what I do was pretty easy because Nell was at home. She had the kids. How do you girls and Julian, how do you guys do that now that with young families? And I know we're not doing it presently, but prior to the COVID, how was the transition going from being a parent back on the road, being the stars that you are?
Yeah, it's
we realised you go, George.
That's right.
I was going to say we realised that we needed to do a different model, do things differently, and one of those things is we can't go on the road for extended periods of time anymore. We used to be on the road for long periods of time in Australia, especially overseas as well, for months at a time. So we can't do that. It's more of a fly-in, fly-out scenario if we have to do festivals and or the weekend warrior type thing where we sort of go in and out in a weekend and do a couple of shows. So and get the grandparents to look after the kids.
We wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't our family helping. I mean, particularly having, even 2 years ago, like the kids were like they're only 2, having babies like twins, and then Jasmine, Paula's little one, was born 6 months later. So we had 3 children, very close babies, and it's very consuming. But you know that music is such a big part of us, and I know that probably for Nellie as well, because you know that you being a mum or a parent is first and foremost, but you can't just push aside that part of you, that creative part of you, and it will always be there. So you know that you need to nurture that, and that's what we really wanted to be able to do, is get back to doing music. And yes, it's a challenge, but when you actually get, and I don't even know if there ever really is balance, because I think balance is just, it's always chaos, and you just do what you can. I think everyone's just doing it.
Sorry, I just want to add that I really wanted, as mums, I really wanted to show my daughter and Jack and Layla, their kids, that we can go out and we can do it. And that, this is what we used to do before then, but we're still going to do it now. And I think it's really important to see as well that life doesn't stop. When you have kids, yes, you've got to completely adapt to a new situation, but, that's what we chose.
Yeah, and if we can always come back to it, and that makes everyone happy. When you're happy doing your thing, the family's happy. What is it? When the wife's happy, everyone's happy. Happy wife, happy life.
I find it hard. The headspace in because I go out and do audio visual work as well to earn money, and then do some other gigs. But then you're doing all that, and then it's hard to find the space to do creative stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you and if you do have a bit of time, sometimes you just want to have a rest. And, and so that's the part I struggle with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found it when the kids were younger. So me and Nell decided when we got married. Levi, which was just born. We got married, and then we went, you know what? We bought a house in Tamworth, and we went, you know what? Let's go and live on the road. So Diezel was then born, and we bought a massive big caravan and then lived on the road for 4 years while the kids were toddlers, trying to juggle music and being parents, but in a caravan. And it was great because we could park the van at the back of the venue, and pretty much we could hire a babysitter if we needed to, or they would just come and sit on the stage with us while we're doing the gigs. And it was tougher than actually what we thought, because they were there with us all the time. We didn't get space. We didn't get a break. We didn't get that headspace to go, oh, we're sitting at the gig now. Yeah, the kids are being looked after by Nan and Pop. We could have a conversation as husband and wife. No, that wasn't happening. We were setting gear up. It got to a point where we hated doing it together, and that's when it stopped completely. Nell just went, no, I'm just going to be a mum, and I pulled away for a bit, and then basically I just kept gigging after that point. But it was tough. It was really, really tough when we tried to juggle the two in one basket, but it's you can't be. I don't think you can be a parent and a full-time touring artist unless you've got a nanny or someone that's full-time to give you that space for writing and to perform and enjoy what you're doing.
Exactly. And I think for women too, it's hard. And it's hard for guys too. I'm not saying it isn't. But for women in particular, if you are a female artist, you really have to choose. You really don't have the luxury of being able to, like, if you're going away, if you're a guy, for example, because Jules and I are in the band together. So I can't sing on stage and have Jules look after the kids while I'm on stage. It's both of us. So, as women, we tend to be, our role is usually we look after the kids while, someone else can get up and have their career. So I think it is even more challenging for the females, even though it's for both, it really is very challenging. And that's something we've had to really work with and try to find some kind of normality or whatever with, but we're making it work to some extent. So that's all we can do.
But we still got to find the right balance.
Yeah. Everyone is. Like, I don't think we're all we're just kind of all guessing along the way.
Yeah, we're still trying to find it now, even though she's got a career. And I know Nell's totally wrapped the fact that I'm home now with this COVID thing, because this is the longest period that we've actually been in the same house together since we've moved here to Mullaney, because I was on the road a lot. But we still haven't found that balance. And I think that's the exciting part about our careers and having family in that career is, seeking that balance and the end goal. What's it? You guys have got 6 albums, 6 successful albums. You've had a dozen or so chart-topping songs. As I said before, you've won all these awards. What's the next achievement? You've had quick kids. You guys have pretty much done everything that everyone could do in a music career. What's next for you guys? What's next for Jetty Road? You toured overseas prolifically for a lot of years. What's next?
We want to get back there, by the way. We've got so many friends and contacts over there that they keep contacting us saying, when are you guys coming back? Obviously, that stopped since COVID because no one can travel. But, we've definitely got our sights on heading back. And I'd love to do it with the kids somehow, because it's, to show them the world. Not sure if that will
I think writing more music and doing more stuff around Australia, but we haven't been overseas for a fair while. So I think that we need to just be able to try and it's a dream, but I think we'll be able to make it happen at some stage. So definitely. Yeah.
Well, look, I think it's time we get you guys to sing a couple of songs for the folks out there, and I'm looking forward. I was so excited about getting you guys on. I've always been a big fan, and we've always been good friends for a lot of years, and we don't get to see each other that often now because different festivals and different things. But I'm looking forward to hearing you do some stuff. I'll hand over the screen to you guys, and I'll have a chat to you when you come back. Here's Jetty Road.
Okay, cool. Okay, this one's called I'm a Dreamer. We're just trying to work out what we sent Col, actually. But video clip, so it's on the fly at the moment, but we're going to do a bit of I'm a Dreamer. Okay, 3. 1, 2, 3, go. You see clouds, I see the blue. You see walls, I walk right through. You see old, I see brand new. I'm a dreamer.
see rain, I see a rainbow. You say it's over, I say it ain't so. You see grass, I find you fully clover. 'Cause I'm a dreamer, 'cause baby I'm a dreamer. I'm a hidden in the clouds, make believer. 'Cause baby I'm a dreamer. Woo! You place limits in your mind. I see mountains of the climb, taking the view one day at a time. 'Cause I'm a dreamer, 'cause baby I'm a dreamer. I'm a hidden in the clouds, make believer. 'Cause baby I'm a dreamer, yeah. Do, 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 do. Yeah, let's go. From the day I was born, I had stars in my eyes. You hear noise, I hear the music. You stand back, I get down to it. Like a child who don't lose the magic. Be a dreamer, life is sweet if you only choose it. Yeah, boom. 1, 2, 3, go now. Ooh, I'm a dreamer, make believer, yeah. I'm a dreamer, here I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo! There we go.
All right. Flick that up if you can.
Okay,
Might
message
be able to
came
see
in.
ourselves.
There we go.
All right. Hey, Cole. All right. Well,
Hopefully you can hear us okay. It's a pretty quick setup today with getting over here with all the lockdown situation. And then, okay, so we're going to do, we've actually forgot what songs that we'd sent to you for video clips. So we're going to do a couple of oldies today, and we've got some new on the clips today too that Cole's going to show you. We're going to do a song that we haven't done in ages actually, but this is always a fun one to do while Jules is tuning.
now, we were over in Canada in 2008, 2009, and we, what was 2010? Anyway, doesn't matter, but we were in Canada and we decided to start writing for a new album because we had the opportunity to record it in Vancouver. So we did that, and I remember we wrote this song at the bottom in a basement of a place in Calgary somewhere, I think. Freezing cold outside, It started snowing, and so we were sort of stuck for something to do, so we thought, yeah, we'll write a song. And
Paul always jokes that this is about Mole, my boyfriends, but I don't have a lot of I've never had a lot of boyfriends. It's Paula, so.
All right.
You ready? This one's called Sweet Goodbye. Whoa, whoa, whoa. On the line about the history of playing games and breaking hearts, but I gave my heart anyway. But there's something going on, and I'm pretty sure it's not just in my head. I guess I know the dark will never change its ways.
Well, you promised me a life filled with cherry pie, and you gave me more than I ever had in mind. There's a pretty little young girl sitting in the front row who really caught your eye. Yeah, I'll see you and raise you one more time. With the sweet, 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 with the sweet goodbye. You give me flowers every day, but I'm pretty sure there's something that they hide. 'Cause a woman's intuition never lies. The sheets are all clean and you smell too good. You're trying way too hard. You always have a perfect alibi. Well, you promised me a life filled with cherry pie, and you gave me more than I ever had in mind. There's a pretty little young thing wearing next to nothing will really put your eye. I'll see you and raise you one more time. With the sweet, 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 with the sweet goodbye. Gotcha. Is where the heart is, but you ain't never home. The day will come when you wake up alone. Well, you promised me a life filled with cherry pie, and you gave me more than I ever had in mind. There's a pretty little young thing wearing next to nothing that really caught your eye. I'll see you and raise you one more time. With the sweet, 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 ooh, with the sweet goodbye. Do-do-do, ooh, with the sweet goodbye. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. Yay! That one was on the fly. Woo! Cool. We haven't forgotten.
No, that's good.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Is Cole coming back?
He might be. There he is.
Oh, this bloody thing. Got to press buttons. Well done, guys. No, you haven't forgotten. Sounding great. Other than Julian, you didn't turn your guitar up, mate.
It was there. Yeah, I think I had a pedal problem, and
Yeah.
you know what it's like when you're trying to fix stuff while you're trying to play and sing.
On the fly, mate.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
look, I would love the show's going to keep going regardless on what is happening with COVID. I'm enjoying doing this show. So let's organise another date and time when it's a little bit more relaxed and there's no, you guys are under a bit of pressure at the moment down there. So I really appreciate the effort that you have done for me today under the circumstances. I did expect you to ring and say we can't do it because of what's going on. So thanks so much. It's been an absolute honour having you on the show. So thank you.
Thanks, Cole, and say hi to Nellie for us, and hope you guys are, you're going well. But yeah, we're going all right down here too. We're making do with the situation.
Yeah, that's good. And look, I want to ask. The show this week is all about Hats Off to Country. It is a festival that you guys have done in the past. What is one thing in your career that it has inspired you? So from the older style of country music or growing up to country music, what's one thing that's happened that has stuck with you till now that has inspired or motivated you or sort of inflicted country music into your lifestyle? What's one thing that that stands out as a group?
Probably a lot of listening to, like, the influence that I could think of the most, particularly for Paul and I can't speak on behalf of you, but listening to like Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt, and Emmylou Harris when they were doing their trio, and that got us, Paul and I, singing things like I was going to say Enter Sandman, but it's not. It's Mr. Sandman. We were singing Mr. Sandman and Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy, and just getting into the harmonies. And we love listening to Dolly anyway. And I'm not like, I know we don't sound like her, but having that time where we listen to those harmonies. And
can I say, we grew up in the middle of nowhere, so we had a lot of time to sit down and study all this stuff and work out harmonies, and that's where we started.
And I think that's our love for when we do write is really the harmonies and having a good melody. And I think that's like listening to people like ABBA, and even Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles. Those kind of harmonies that's really stuck with us.
Because you guys met 1995, you met at the Box Institute of Music, is that right?
Yeah, it's we studied music. It's like sort of like a TAFE uni course for music.
Okay, and that's where you met Julian?
Yeah, we met Simon there too. So
Simon was my piano accompanist for my vocal exams, and Jules was Lee's.
Was mine. And so we were all in the same year. We hit it off as friends. Paula started going out with Simon. Back then, they were an item. We were just friends.
This is very ABBA-esque / Fleetwood Mac, by the way.
It is. But we ended up doing stuff with Simon in Melbourne for many, many years, doing wedding band stuff and cover work. And then Jules had his own bands that he did. And then all of a sudden, we studied there, and it was a really good way it's a course that gets you out actually earning a living from music, not just studying it and either just teaching or just having a bachelor or something and then not doing anything with it. This is a really practical course to get you out there gigging. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make a living from music. So that was a great course at Box Hill.
We were studying, Simon and I were both studying jazz piano.
Yeah.
And sort of second study classical piano. So we were in there as piano players, and once Jetty Rose started and I was playing guitar and then he was playing whatever instrument he could pick up. He's a almost borderline genius, I reckon.
Yeah.
At just picking up new instruments and learning them really quickly. He does the same with languages.
Yeah. We chat to Simon every now and then too. We still keep in contact. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I see Simon and see what he's doing, and you guys, he was a big part of what you guys did at the start, and as things progress, bands move forward and shows move forward and things happen, and you guys are doing great guns, and I just got to congratulate you on a stellar career. You guys should be super proud. As an outsider looking into Jetty Road, I've always been a fan, and I've always enjoyed what you do on stage. The harmonies is something that stands out to me. You're probably the only band that I know that has perfected harmonies in every show. I've never heard you falter with it, so I've got to say congratulations on it. And I look forward to hearing more stuff come from Jetty Road in the future.
Yeah, can't wait.
So do we.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Col. We appreciate it, mate.
No worries. All the best, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you on the road somewhere. Once again, Jetty Road, Julian, Lee, Paula. We'll see you guys soon. All the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Jetty Road, amazing, fantastic guys, and we're getting to that part of the show, folks. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here on HouseBound. It's been a cracking show. Special edition, hats off to country music, which we take on there that made up with them too great. But thanks so much to Will Day, John Krsulja, Michael Waugh, Beck Gracie, and Jetty Road, Julian, Lee, and Paula. Thanks so much for your time today. Thanks to everyone that's popped in and said good day and shared your messages. I've had a few messages saying that they they couldn't share the show. I'm not too sure because the show's shared between certain pages, so it might be just the HouseBound page might be able to allow you to share. But please go ahead and share after we're finished here. And thanks for your support. Let's just check some more messages that have popped in. Excuse me. Thanks, Kaz. Kayleen. Thank you very much, Kayleen. Thanks, Kaz. Thanks, my mum. Thanks, everyone, for coming on. But right now, we're going to do something. It's not new. We launched it last week. The boys, I'm very proud, have come on the show. Last show you had Diezel live. They're a bit shy today to come in and be a part of it. But they've sat back, they've watched the video clips that were presented this week, and they've thanks, Mark, all the way from Canada. I will see you definitely at the Tamworth Services Club for January. The boys have come up with their top 5 videos, and I'm super proud of them. And sitting at number 5 is Unknown People.
Sometimes you never know your number's called up. How can you ever know you've run out of luck? He didn't know when he boarded the train his darling ones would never see him again. All the unknown people struggling too. The journey, it was one he'd taken before. The gentle rocking sounds, the sights he saw. But when it came, it happened so fast. The innocent man, he breathed his last. All the unknown people struggling too. Those few words have always haunted. The letter said it would safely bring him home. I placed a letter on the bench and worried about its consequence. All the unknown people struggling too. Many times I wanted just to see them, to tell them how it so affected me. But I was told just let them grieve. I carried their small tears with me. All the unknown people struggling too. Those few words have always haunted. The letter said it would safely bring him home. I placed a letter on the bench and worried about its consequence. All the unknown people struggling too. I have seen those little faces crying for the man who won't come home. Well, now they're so much older though, I wonder if their tears have slowed. Not the unknown people struggling too. Those few words have always haunted. The letter said it would safely bring him home. I placed a letter on the bench and worried about its consequence. All the unknown people struggling too. I placed a letter on the bench and worried about its consequence. All the unknown people struggling too. All
the unknown people struggling too.
Billy, wake up. Where are we? Oh, mate. What happened? Oh, I think we found the party.
When I hear the bitch and complain, can't talk with a mouth full of beer anyway. But when I'm here to sit on our ass, time is another drink and we're drinking fast. We're here to party, here to shake things up like a bull in a rodeo. We're ready to fuck, not here to worry, not here to think too much. Forget about tomorrow, we don't give a truck. We're here to party. When I'm here to save our money, gonna waste it on the whiskey and a good-looking honey. No, when I'm here to be going home now, we'll be wearing out our welcome till they're kicking us out. We're here to party, here to shake things up, gonna roll with the feeling while we're running amok. Not here to worry, not here to think too much. Forget about tomorrow, fill up your cup. We're here to party. We can buy a couple bottles when they call last drinks. Round up the stairs, hit my place. Keep the fire burning until daybreak. We're here to party. We're here to party. We're here to party, here to shake things up like a bull in a rodeo. We're ready to fuck, not here to worry, not here to think too much. Forget about tomorrow, we don't give a truck. We're here to party, here to shake things up, gonna roll with the feeling while we're running amok. Not here to worry or here to think too much. Forget about tomorrow, fill up your cup. We're here to party. Party time, baby.
Here I stand at the right now station, at the right now station right now. And I'm waiting for a train at the right now station, at the right now station right now. And there's a whole lot of trains with different destinations going past my station right now. But the train I want is pulling into the station, to the right now station right now.
It's a love train, don't need no ticket to get you there and back. It's a love train, it's a whole gonna get your soul on track. Oh, hey. Is appreciation for all of creation right now. Yes, the destination is appreciation for the right here, baby, right now. It's the love train, you don't need no ticket to get you there and back. It's the love train, it's the whole road gonna get your soul on track. It's the love train, don't need no ticket to get you there and back. It's the peace train, it's the whole get your soul on track. Oh, hey. Stand at the right now, station at the right now, station right now. And I'm waiting for a train at the right now, station at the right now, station right now. And there's a whole lot of trains with different destinations going past my station right now. But the train I want is pulling into the station to the right now, station right now. It's the love train, doesn't need no ticket to get you there and back. It's the love train, it's the whole road gonna get your soul on track. It's the love train, don't need no ticket to get you there and back. It's the peace train, it's the whole road gonna get your soul on track. Oh,
Hey, little. Hey,
Who are you?
Dolphins. Hi, I'm Levi, and this is Diezel. And this is our #1 video clip.
Woo!
Thank you for watching. Bye.
There's still a noble cowboy hidden in a guy like me. I guess that's what you like, old-fashioned chivalry. I know how to treat you, baby, a little something with a good time twist. Dance around the moon and back, and a front porch goodnight kiss. A little bit old school, I'll get that door to the car before you slide on in. Old school, and if I get chilly, you're cold on my skin. And when you're ready, there's good loving. Ain't in a hurry, I'm waiting for you. I feel the fire, baby, I'm playing it cool. A little bit old school. I love it when you act like you're listening. You know how I like to gab. Dinner and a chick flick movie, and you pick up the tab. I'm like a box of wooden matches. Ain't no sensitive new age guy, still rough around the edges. That's the kind of man you like. A little bit old school, I'll get that door to the car before you slide on in. Old school, this game we're playing, you're letting me win. And when you're ready, there's good loving. Ain't in a hurry, I'm waiting for you. I feel the fire, baby, I'm playing it cool. A little bit old school. A little bit old school. How about a nightcap, baby? Can I come on in? Old school. This game you're playing, I'm letting you win. And if you're ready, there's good loving. Ain't in a hurry, I'm waiting for you. I feel the fire, baby, I'm playing it cool. A little bit old school.
What kind of nightcap you got in mind, big boy?
Well, I'd like a taste of whatever you're drinking, baby.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of another Good Morning Housebound. It was an exceptionally long show today. Thanks so much for everyone for hanging in there. Thanks for my boys for ducking in and quickly announcing their #1 video clip, which was long and the short of it, old school. Thank you so much. Thanks to all the artists. Thanks to everyone's support for the show. Keep it coming in, guys. We'd love to keep the show going. If there's an artist that you wish to see on the show and to for us to have a chat with, please send us a message on any of the pages. Just PM me, private message, and we'll get onto that. Or contact the artist to get in contact with us. Would love to have anyone or everyone on the show. Again, thanks so much to Karen from Little Sparrow, Nellie from Nellie's Creative Hair, the guys from Cole Street Productions and Proud and True, and Outlawed Clothing who dressed me. So thank you so much. To everyone, thanks to the artists Will Day, John Krsulja, Michael Waugh, Jetty Road, and to Beck Gracie for lending me their time for this show. Look forward, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you again on Good Morning Housebound sometime, someday, real soon. Thanks, guys.